to the powerful pink team training tonight. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So happy to have you. If you don't know me, my name is Allie Edmonds, and I am your Gold Ambassador upline, and I am your host tonight. That totally just sounded like I was on a game show, and this is like not a game show because I don't have prizes for you. So sorry. Let's get down to it. I'm just in a super crazy giddy mood tonight because the Buccos play tonight. Whoop whoop. So I'm gonna make this super simple, sweet, to the point. It's not gonna be too long because if you are a Pittsburgh fan like myself, you understand the importance of this game. So let's get down to it, folks. So tonight I want to talk about how to seal the deal under the radar and rejection free. And what I mean by this is when you're approaching people about Plexus, how to approach them without getting that initial, like, no, I'm not interested in Plexus type of thing. This is something that I learned from convention. Like I said, we're going to keep going on with the whole convention topics until I run out because I learned so much. You guys should know about it and be able to use it and apply it to your life. And convention's just like super sweet. So we're going to do that. But it was by Tom Schreider, or better known as Big Al. He was wonderful. He has great books. YouTube him. He's wonderful. He's hilarious. Like, he's like this short little like old man, and he's stinking hilarious. I about peed my pants like 5 times. So let's get down to it. So how can we seal the deal under the radar and rejection free? You know what? That's a great question. And basically, I'll give you the answer to this and shut the video off because it's like over. Totally just kidding. We're going to dig deep down into this and do some examples and whatnot. But this is the answer. This is the problem solver. This is like the point of this entire team meeting. And it's how can we do this? It is by always ending the conversation with a decision-making question. You want people to have to make a decision after you give your little Plexus spiel. You want them to make this decision. You don't want them just sitting there and being like, now what? Like crickets, chirping in the background, like totally awkward. Like, no. You want them to have to make a decision right away, like whether they verbally say yes or whether they're subconsciously thinking like, oh, yes, I like what she's saying. This chick's good. She knows her stuff. Stuff like that. So let's do an example. So let's say you have someone approach you asking about like what Plexus is, what it's about, how it works. You get that all the time, right? So what you want to respond with is, before I tell you how this works, let me tell you what happened to me. So why do you want to use this approach? Why do you want to tell people, what happened to you while using Plexus? Why do you want to do this? It's because telling a story makes people pay attention to you. Have you ever been like at a restaurant or like out in public and you're like overhearing people? Like, we're women, we do this all the time, right? And we're listening and someone says something like, oh my gosh, last night was so crazy. Listen to what happened. Like, we've all been there, done that, some crazy story, and you're like, oh, I wonder who they're talking about. Ooh, I wonder what happens next. Ooh, did she get kicked out of that bar? Like, we're wanting to know the dirty details of the story, right? So we're paying attention. So this is how we want to talk about Plexus and how we want to like approach this by telling a story. They're better and they're easier to remember. It keeps people, paying attention. It keeps them intrigued. It's not boring. So for all of my psychology friends out there, I know I have a few, but it commands the subconscious to see the story, and it will substitute itself as the main character. So that person is like being you in the story. Like, they're thinking, oh my gosh, this is me. This is totally me. I go through this all the time. What? This chick's crazy, right? Exactly. So it makes the person feel like it's actually happening to them. And you want to give them reasons to join you by telling your story. So you want to keep that story like short, sweet, to the point. We're not talking like a 5-minute long conversation. We're literally talking like as if you were on the 5th floor and you're going down to the lobby of like a hotel or something. You have like 30 seconds to do that, right? So this is why you need to work on your why, because your why needs to be like a 30-second, like bing, bang, boom, it's done, carry on with life, right? So so it's important to know your why. And I know you guys have heard me like say this every week, like, know your why. Why is your why? What's your why? What are you doing with your why? Like, I'm a why freak, all right? And you guys know that. But it's so important because without your why, you don't have a purpose. You don't know why you're doing this. People are going to ask you and you're just going to sit there and be like, huh, good question. Let me get back to you in like 3 days, because like, no, people don't have 3 days. They need to know your why now when they ask you why. And when you have this opportunity to tell people about Plexus and talk about Plexus, you have to know your why to be able to, give them that spiel. I literally have my why down to a T where I can literally time it and it's 30 seconds because I know that's how long I have. So this is what you guys need to do. You need to practice your why. You need to like literally stand in front of a mirror and say it to yourself and practice it. This should help build your confidence and not be afraid to talk to prospects. This should build your confidence because this is your story. It's so special. It's so unique. And I love your guys' stories. Like, they're unbelievable, and I love them so much. But what makes it great is that you don't have to memorize, Susie's story about this, and this, and about why she's doing Plexus because it got her off these like 5 medications. Like, no, you don't have to memorize their fun facts. You just have to know your fun facts. And let me tell you, they are fun facts. So get your story, figure it out, find out what's important, what's your why, and why it's your why, and practice it. Just practice it. So moving along, so after you give your little snippet of your why to someone, they're probably going to be thinking, oh, wow, I can totally relate to this girl. Like, so let's say you told me your why. I'll cut it short, sweet, to the point. So I was like overweight and I had trigeminal neuralgia and I had like migraines all the time. So now Plexus has worked for me because I am now 52 pounds down and I'm headache free. And let's say this person, they might be a little overweight, or you might notice, you can be that little creepy stalker person who, you notice they have like a big thing of Advil or like Tylenol in their bag. We all know those people, right? They carry that like big honkin' like tub of drugs in their purse. You just have to be like really conscious about it and be aware, what's in the conversations. But after you give that snippet, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, well, like, it'd be cool if I lost like 20 pounds. And oh my gosh, I'm like on my 5th headache this week. How can I get rid of this? They're going to be making those connections with you. And this is kind of, how you kind of approach this. So after you give your snippet, they're going to connect with you. And then you have this conversation going, right? So what you want to do is ask them, would you like to do something about it? Because you're going to hear them complain. You're going to hear about this, and this problem, and I'm on this, and this medication, or, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I'm on like my 10th coffee today. You know what I mean? So this is when you come in as an ambassador and be like, would you like to do something about it? And you just want to use this when you hear people complaining. If they say no, that they would not like to do something about it, don't just leave the conversation at a standstill and like make it super awkward, like, oh, she doesn't want to be helped. Shutting down now, I'm going to get off this elevator and like call it a day. Like, no, don't do that. You're still in this for the win, guys. Instead, you want to ask, what else is bothering you? This opens up a whole new door, because let me tell you, if you ask them what else is bothering them, they probably had a crappy day so far, or they just had like an awful week, and they're going to tell you about their crappy day and crappy week because you care about them, and that means that you're listening and they want to vent to someone, right? We all have those friends. It could be us that do that, all right? Like, we're girls, we get it. We do this all the time, right? So basically, you want to give them the opportunity to list their complaints, and chances are they will do that. So to seal the deal on their complaints, you want to ask, so what's going to be easier for you? Let's say they're having the overweight and migraine scenario. Let's go back to that one. So if you ask, so what's going to be easier for you? Sitting there eating those Twinkies all day at your office, feeling like crap, maybe fluctuating your weight, and then having to lug around that heavy thing of Tylenol with you in your bag all day, every day? Or I can talk to you about a couple products that will change your life, and you won't need those Twinkies in your office. You're going to lose weight just because you're going to be feeling healthier and better. And it's going to take care of your headache, so you can get rid of that big thing of Tylenol in your bag every day. And I can replace it with this little small, Accelerator Plus bottle, for instance. That is obviously the size of my hand, right? So you want to give them the option. What's going to be easier for you? And you want to give them those two options. So bad scenario or Plexus, right? So you kind of get in the drift here. It's really simple to do. So if you use this closing line and explain their problems into how it can be easier for them, chances are, if they're not already shaking their head, if they're already saying, yeah, that'd be awesome, or yes, I totally need this, in their mind, they're already agreeing with you. They're already being like, yes, this would be so much better. I would love to meet those goals, or I would love to, have this energy. I would love to be headache free. I would love to lose those pounds, or I would love to get rid of that stinking Twinkie in my little desk drawer, right? So you gotta make this easier for them. This turns it into a rejection-free conversation because it shows that you care about them. It shows that they do have an option. They don't have to live this crappy life of feeling like blah all day, right? You, as an ambassador, can point them towards a whole new realm of life, because we know that we are a part of that new realm of life. We live that every day. We live, almost carefree because we don't have the weight, the ball and chain of weight, a ball and chain of, headaches or less energy. Like, we're better people because of these products and what it has done for us. And it's our job to listen into conversations, to hear people complain. Don't just, think because they're complaining about something that you need to just shut them down, not listen to them. I know it gets annoying at times when you just hear people nag and complain all the time. Trust me, been there, done that. I know it's stinking annoying, but the more you pay attention and listen to people, the more opportunities it opens for you to be able to step in and offer a solution, and an easier solution. So all it takes is for you to care and to really just hone in and listen in. And this forms a rejection-free area because people want what's easier for them. How many times do you want the easy way out? That stupid little Staples commercial, it's like, that was easy. And by that, I mean, that was the little easy button thing that we all know and we probably owned at one point, because that was a thing a couple years ago, really weirdly a thing. But anyways, people want the easy route, right? We wanted the easy route. And sometimes people will want that quick fix, I'm not even going to name them, but we know the quick fixes out there that think that's a huge problem solver, but we know it's not. But if they're willing to want to change their life, they're willing to want to become better, or, just be free. Plexus freedom. We just need to listen in and talk to them, be open, know your why, share why everything has worked for you. Tell them what it has done done for you before you go into being oh yeah, I'm a crazy Plexus lady. Here's your options. Knowing your goals by looking at you or hearing you complain, this is your A, B, and C options. No, you need to converse. You need to just really ask them questions. Just give them that opportunity to share and to complain, because this gives you an open door to be able to help them, be able to bless them, be able to show them, what real freedom's all about. So, like I said, I know we have negative Nancy's in our lives. I know that we always feel like we get rejected all the time. Like, how many people have been rejected, by coming along, like, with Plexus and wanting to help someone, but they're just, like, shut you down real quick. Like, 2 hands up for me. I get rejected, like, all the time. But I realized that once I did this approach by ending the conversation with a decision-making question of what would be easier for you, option A, option B type of thing, people are more reluctant to go for Plexus and the easier option because it's easier, So listen to those negative Nancy's, really hone in on them, be friendly to them. Don't just tune them out. If you're in a public place, listen in. If you're really shy about, being worried about how they're going to react if you be like, oh, hey, I don't mean to butt into your conversation, but, that awkward person, don't be, because this opens up a lot of doors. If they're talking loud enough for a lot more people to hear, don't feel excluded to, like, jump on in. I do this all the time. Like, I was literally getting my hair done this past week. Hair flip by. Just kidding. So I was getting my hair done this week, and I heard the lady beside me was just like, oh my gosh, my 10 grandchildren they've been in all summer long because I got, like, a new sprinkler system, blah, blah, blah. Kids love to run in water. It's summertime. We know how it is, right? And she's like, I'm just so exhausted. She's like, I don't have time for all these 10 grandkids 24/7. And I feel like this is the only place I can relax and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, I'm so sorry. I do not mean to interrupt your conversation, but I think I have something that can help you, and I would love to share it with you. You just have to butt in almost. I ended up giving her a brochure and a business card and a sample. So always keep those with you. But when opportunity arises and you can help someone, butt in. Do it. What do you have to lose if they, like, especially because I just taught you how to be rejection free, right? So use this tip. Go butt into conversations. Be listening. Be attentive. Care for others. And just seal the deal without rejections. It's that simple, guys. I know I've been rambling on, and I apologize, but this stuff's so important. And just taking it back from convention, this has truly helped me gain more customers and gain more confidence because, first of all, I got to practice my why like a bajillion times at convention, because the way Big Al did it was more like a workshop. So, like, we took notes and stuff, listen and just, like, listen to him speak and stuff like that. But, like, we got to turn to our partner and practice these elevator speeches. We took it step by step. And if that's what you need to do to get this down, practice with another ambassador. Practice, with a family member. Practice in the mirror. That definitely helps. You gotta gain that confidence. You have to go in there knowing that, like, you're not being rejected this time. Go in knowing that you can help someone this time. Just have that confidence, because confidence is key, and that's what's really going to help you be rejection free in this company. I'm not saying this is like 100% success rate, because some people are just going to keep complaining, and, like, you're going to be riding that elevator like 5 million times because their complaints are, like, literally a million miles long, but you just may never get to the point of helping them. But that's okay. It's more of a bless and release type of thing, and just know at least, like, you at least asked and tried to help their day, and if they don't want to take it, that's on them. But most people, like, literally, most people will want that easier option, and you just have to be that one to offer it to them. Option A, option B, and most of the time, they're gonna go for option B because it's the Staples easy button, right? Exactly. So this week, really practice this rejection-free approach. Rewatch this video a million times if you need to. Ask me more questions about being rejection-free if you need to. You guys know I'm available. You guys know where to find me. But I really just think this will really help you guys be rejection-free in this business. So I want you guys to have a wonderful night. Stay tuned for either this week's more training stuff, or more training calls over the weekends. I'm making a list of interesting topics, so if you have an interesting topic, please let me know because I need more topics. Not saying I'm like running out, but like I like options. So if you have something you want to discuss or want me to do a video on, let me know. Have a wonderful week. If you are my level 1, I am getting with you this week to talk about other shenanigans. Not saying I don't like my, below levels, because I do love you all dearly, but I need to really connect to my level 1s because there's like a million of you guys and it's like crazy. So I will be connecting with you guys this week. Stay tuned for more training and have a wonderful night, and go Buccos! Love you guys. Have a wonderful week.